here.
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 Do we have any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 17th, 2019.
I motion to defer the reading of those minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item A, contract with Midwestern Electric, Inc. for the 4th District Street Lighting Project, Calumet Avenue to Columbia Avenue, at a cost of $275,361.27. This has been approved previously with a green sheet. Do I have a motion to approve the contract?
Motion to approve the contract.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting approval of Officer John Sarlia be promoted to the rank of first-class patrolman effective November 10th, 2019, and for Zach Steele to receive the promotional raise for a correctional officer effective November 13th, 2019. Nothing else in there today.
The financials on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Find that money laying around.
Motion to approve the police chief's request.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item C, correspondence received from 4th District Councilman Bill Emerson requesting $15,000 of gaming dollars be allocated for park improvements. This has been signed by the councilman and by the mayor.
Well, in that case, I'm going to motion to approve the councilman's request.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item D, right-of-way permit submitted for approval by the engineering department. This has been approved, no objections? Okay. And this is for Agora Plumbing Corp. And Sawyer Plumbing. And two for Sawyer Plumbing.
Okay, I'm going to motion to approve the engineering department's request for the right-of-way permits.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item E, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing. Okay. Here's, there might have been an issue with the address. December 12th?
December 12th? Okay, we're going to set this hearing over for December 12th, 2019.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is this, do I not have, oh, okay. Item 6, matters from other board members. I do have one today. We will be canceling the November 28th Board of Public Works meeting due to the holiday. Do we have any other matters?
No matter from this member.
No, ma'am.
Item 7, matters from other department heads or the representatives.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Morning.
Board. We have an issue that's come up yesterday due to a fire at 5533 Calumet Avenue. Mr. Kearney has some photographs that he's sharing with the board now that show both yesterday's condition and this morning's condition. As you can see from the photographs, there does in fact appear to be imminent
I'd like to see it, Madam President.
imminent concern for person or property. There's a standing wall, partial wall, and a standing partial wall in the back. I believe pursuant to Indiana Code 36799, Mr. Kearney has the ability as the enforcement authority to declare this an emergency, and then we would proceed without notice to the owner to remove the immediate danger, which is the walls and the debris in the area. I would also, if the board has any concern, remind them that on October 31st, this property was in front of the board for affirmation of a demolition order. So it's already under a demolition order, which I think should give you some comfort in declaring this an emergency, notwithstanding, even without the demolition order, I think we'd be fine. But we will be forwarding to the board for its signature an emergency findings and order. And I believe Mr. Kearney is going to report his discussion with JM as the contractor to proceed with that demolition.
Did we have any contact with the property owner at any?
We did not. No one appeared at the demolition hearing.
So the order was affirmed. It became evident during the fire that some demo work was going to need to be done. We were going to need to be a demo contractor out there to take out the wall, especially on the western side going on Calumet Avenue, and then on the southern side where people could go through the vacant lot. I called Jeff McKernan from JM. They responded. They were there, men, equipment, within 2 hours, able to knock down that west and south wall for the most part. and pushed into the basement. They're ready, willing, and able to go at whatever notice we give them. So as soon as the orders are signed and ready to go, if the board so wishes, I would like to call Jan back out to finish this demolition and get rid of this before somebody gets hurt.
Do I have a motion to declare an emergency demolition of the building at 5533 Calumet Avenue?
So moved.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other matters from other department heads or the representatives? Any new business? Old business, we have a few items. Item AA, hearing on dangerous dog.
Morning. I see Mr. Wagner is here, and we also have somebody from Animal Control here. Good morning. Where are we?
Okay, so I was able to get this much for the liability. The only thing about the fence is that we don't own the house, and it's kind of difficult to get in contact with the landlord right now.
Okay. So Mr. Wagner's given me a copy of looks to be evidence of insurance, looks to be a binder for their address at 219 Wildwood. Specifically, it's in the liability amount of $100,000. I believe that the Animal Control has requested $300,000 on this. Do you guys rent there or own? Rent. So that might be part of the problem. Are the dogs still muzzled?
Yeah,
When they're outside? Okay. And what about the fence issue?
The fence, I haven't been able to get in contact with the landlord so he can sign for the permit.
Okay.
I need more time.
And you're looking at pricing for making a 6-foot fence,
Yeah,
right?
6 foot.
6-foot fence. Yeah. But no, we had modified that, yeah, with Kristen, yeah, yep. So I think if we could, it sounds like we're making progress, unless Animal Control has any objection, just allow the Wagners to have a little bit more time to continue to kind of move along, and we'll update the folks at, the alleged victims, or how do you want to handle it?
We can let them know, but I'd like a date of compliance so that we can get this taken care of sooner than later.
Yeah.
Can you allude us, is there any other history with these dogs that you're aware of outside of what we're here for?
Not that I'm aware of, but this was a pretty serious attack on a woman, 13 different bites, and then it bit a man that tried to help her. He got bit also on the leg. She was pinned against her fence.
Okay. Thank you.
And what's before, as you know, the animal controls declared them dangerous. The Wagners have appealed that decision. So really, what we're here before the board is a determination on whether or not that determination by the animal control was in fact valid, and the Wagners are appealing. So it's kind of like, theoretically, we could go forward, but in the meantime, we're trying to reach a settlement of which the Wagners are trying to comply with the requests of animal control. That's where we're at.
So do we have any ability to maybe contact the landlord to let them know of the situation, to maybe
They moved,
assist
it's
in
different address, right?
Yeah,
Different
it's a
address.
different
So they moved up the block from where they originally lived, where the incident occurred.
But it seems like he's having difficulty getting in touch with the landlord in order to get the permit signed, in order to get the fence put up to
His wife
comply.
did tell me that he was gonna give me a call back in a couple of days.
Okay.
He has some health issues that he's dealing with right now.
Okay.
So I do believe that he will contact me pretty soon.
In other words, they won't issue the permit down at, with you guys,
Yeah,
right?
Because the landlord has to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I thought if we're having difficulty, maybe a notice from the board would help that
Sure.
situation. But if he seems confident that
Yeah, his wife
he'll get
confirmed
contact,
it.
then.
Okay, so, animal control, anything else you want to add right now?
No, not right now.
Because the requirements that we've placed on the Wagners, that they're going to attempt to comply with are 6-foot fence, muzzle the dogs when they come out, and $300,000 in insurance. They provided $100,000.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to have to discuss.
We have had contact, though, with one of the people that live in your neighborhood and said you're still walking the dog without the muzzle on.
No, that's a lie. I've never been walking.
Okay. So you know you're supposed to, they have to be muzzled, right? Okay.
Yes, I remember that was what we.
All three of them,
All
right?
three of them,
All
yes.
three of them.
But never the
So
outside of the.
we have, as we mentioned earlier, we'll be canceled on the 28th. Do we want a status next week? Do we want it in
Yeah.
3 weeks, next week?
I think
Okay.
next week,
Next
We
week,
should be able to
okay?
find something out.
Yes, we're hoping. Okay, thank
Do I have
you.
to be here?
Okay, thanks.
You wanna wait 3 weeks?
No, you can go, and I would just
Why don't we
make
just
sure.
get a status on
Yeah.
We can let you know what the situation is.
Thanks.
Okay,
bother
so do,
Okay, I'm gonna motion to set this over for status to November 21st, 9 AM.
And I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Item BB, stop work order, 847 117th Street.
I wonder if this is gonna be incongruous to the rest of the meeting, this issue.
This issue was brought up by Mr. William Sears, I believe. He is the brother of the owner of 847 117th. He is contesting a stop work order that was placed at his property by one of our inspectors. He dug up a hole. He contested that he dug up the hole to bury the leaves. I don't know if you guys want to see pictures, excuse me, since he's not here. Kind of a one-sided thing. We don't believe he dug the hole up just to bury leaves. So, I don't know
Okay,
if
so
you guys want to.
refresh my memory. I know we had two issues with this gentleman a couple weeks ago. The
Two
one
stop-
was that
Right, there was
with
two
the
stop work
plumbing
orders.
issue, right?
Yeah, two stop work orders, two different addresses. The one stop work order at 1830 Lake was paid for by Salyer Plumbing. What he said was that he dug up the hole in order for the plumbers to go there and do work.
Check the line.
Salyer Plumbing came in, paid the stop work order, got the permit, did the work.
And he was going to appeal that to the law department, is that correct? Notice of claim, okay.
He was going
So
to.
that one's handled, we're
Right.
okay. This one
Yeah.
was the burying of the leaves.
Correct, which he didn't pay. It's still up in the air currently. He was supposed to come back today.
And we set this over for inspection, is that correct? To make sure that that's all he was actually doing, was
Right,
burying
right,
leaves?
and we have not got any contact with him. Is that correct?
We asked him to expose the hole, to take whatever's off and let us see that there's no pipes or that it's just going to be leaves in there. He's had a week to do that, has not contacted us, and
This is the one that's on the corner of the old library?
this is the old library. This is the old library, and the hole is right up against the building. It makes me very suspicious that there's some kind of work going on. It's to dig a hole
He
to
didn't
bury your
contact
leaves.
you after the meeting?
Pardon me?
He did not contact you after the meeting? He's not appeared today?
No.
Okay. Where is this hole?
So, would you, right, who's gonna bury leaves in a hole up next to the building, right? Where you guys,
Exactly where the hole is. That picture is from Google from 2018. Why would you go through the process of removing rock and concrete, makeshift pond?
To bury leaves.
looks like a koi pond, maybe.
Good luck.
You're gonna remove the koi pond to bury the leaves. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Speaking with Jaime, I think we will have the inspector contact them, let them know that that hole needs to be exposed. We need to get in and see what's in that hole. If not, then I believe this will be a case that will maybe one of the first ones into the Superior Court, once we get proper procedures and policies and filing there. So basically, we'll use that leverage to see what's going on. I suggest also if there is piping there, if he has been working on the piping and it's exposed, that stop work order should stand as it is also. We're willing to waive it when he's burying leaves, but I don't think those are leaves.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It does. There's a hydrant's right there, so you gotta think water service is coming in off the street, I'm guessing. So you wanna set this over for a status, I'm guessing?
Yes, let's give it 2 weeks, so.
Well, we're 2 weeks is Thanksgiving, so do you
Okay.
want the next
Let's-
week or
let's
do you
go
want
a
to wait 3?
Let's go a week,
Okay.
put more pressure on him. I mean, what we requested is,
Next week?
sure. What we requested is pretty reasonable, and he hasn't been able to do that now.
All right,
Well,
motion, we set this, issue 847 117th Street over for status for 1 week till the 21st of November.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item CC, status 227 Chicago Street.
There literally has been no movement at this address. This is the Mickey's Auto Salvage contamination ground. They were supposed to clear it out, but then it's going to be bought out. Mr. Ayala has had some serious health issues, and has not been able to coordinate what's going on there. Until I can find out what's going on with the state or whoever's buying that property, and if they're going to be doing the remediation, let's set this over for 60 days. Attorney Yanni, I don't know if he has withdrawn his appearance or not, but it seems there's no cooperation between his client and himself.
Sometime in January, right?
The 9th or the 16th?
January 16th?
That's fine.
Okay.
227 Chicago is going to be set over for status for 60 days till January the 16th of 2020.
And I will second.
20 or 19. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more old business? No? The meeting is open to the public if anyone wishes to speak.
Wayne, anything? No?
Yeah, yeah.
Motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.